I'm going to call to order the March 11th, 2025 Planning Board meeting. The first item on our agenda will be the invocation, and then we'll have the pledge to the American flag. If you're able, please join us and stand with the invocation.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to serve our community. Grant us wisdom, clarity, and fairness as we make decisions that shape our county. Help us work together, keeping the best interests of Effingham in mind. May our discussions be guided by integrity, respect, and a vision for a better future. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Be seated. Okay, the first item number 4 on the agenda is the agenda approval. We do have one item that is postponed, item number 5, that is postponed to the April 8th, 2025. That's the Manning Graham request to rezone plus or minus 33.5 acres from AR1 to light industrial to allow for industrial uses located on Old Augusta Road. That was the 5th District, map 476, parcel 4E. That item will not be heard tonight. It's postponed, so if you're in the audience for that, don't feel like you've got to stick around and stay for the rest of it. Other than that, are there any other corrections or amendments to the agenda that we know of?
No, sir.
Anything else from the board? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda.
I make a motion to accept with item 5 being postponed to April 8th of 25.
All right, thank you.
All right, I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any nays? All right, thank you. Moving on to the minutes. I think it says consideration of approve the February 11th, 2025 meeting minutes. We have 2 sets, correct?
Yes, sir.
So we have the set from our initial workshop. We'll consider that one first. If there's any, hope we've had a chance to review the minutes. If you've got any amendments or corrections, let us know. Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the workshop minutes.
Okay, we have a motion. Goes second.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for the workshop minutes. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any nays? All right, moving on from the minutes for the workshop. Now we're moving on to the minutes from the actual planning board meeting for the February 11th planning board meeting. Any exceptions, notations, corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve it.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? All right. Minutes are approved. Public comment session. Comments shall pertain to the agenda items only. Should you wish to make remarks, clearly state your full name into the microphone before commencing to speak. Do we have a sign-up sheet that was up there? Do we have anybody signed up for public comment beyond the agenda items? Okay. Seeing that there's no additional public comment, we will move into new business. All items during this portion of the meeting will be presented at the future Board of Commissioners meeting as a public hearing. That meeting is the 1st of April 2025, I believe, and that'll be at 6 p.m. here in the same room. So please do recognize we're only a recommending body to the Board of Commissioners. I will say this, we've got 3, is it 3 or 4? We got 4, it was like, related to, I think the room looks like we'll probably be able to get through this one pretty easily, but we are having a policy of 15 minutes for the applicant and then 15 minutes for any of the groups that are opposed, and then there'll be a time for rebuttal, so we're going to stick to that this evening as well. I don't imagine we probably will get through that time period, but with that, we will start with the first public hearing number 1. Keith Lancaster requests to rezone 1.8 acres out of 17.53 acres from AR1 to AR2 to allow for permitted uses in AR2. This is located at 368 Bowen Road, the 3rd District, map number 318, parcel 7B. Do we have any staff presentation on it?
Yes, Liz.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Elizabeth, there's-
Evening, Liz Sapp, Land Use Planning Analyst. Keith Lancaster requests to rezone plus or minus 1.8 out of 17.53 acres from AR1 to AR2 to allow for permitted uses in AR2, located at 368 Bowen Road, map number 318, parcel 7B.
Elizabeth, turn on your mic, please. Is it on?
And just click share. Click share.
Oh, it's still on that other screen. Start the PowerPoint.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The applicant is requesting to rezone plus or minus 1.8 out of 17.53 acres to AR2. Per the Effingham County Code of Ordinances, conforming AR1 zoning shall have 5 acres or more. Since the applicant would like to subdivide the parcel into a smaller lot, the zoning will need to change to AR2. A 1-acre parcel zoned AR2 is approximately 352 feet from the proposed parcel. The applicant would like to subdivide the property to give a family member property to have a home. Bowen Road is a county-maintained dirt road. The proposal aligns with Chapter 2 of the Comprehensive Plan. The future land use map projects the parcel as agricultural. Staff has reviewed the application, and if approved, the rezoning will meet the criteria of the ordinance with the following conditions. Development Services shall review and sign the plat, then the plat shall be recorded so the zoning can take effect, and the mobile home needs to be readdressed to 364 Bowen Road.
Okay, thank you. Is the applicant here tonight to tell us a bit about what you're proposing? Thank you. Please state your name, if you would.
Keith Lancaster. Basically, we wanted to rezone it. My daughter's lived there for over 21 years now. And so basically, I'm just putting it in her name, let her have it.
So, Mr. Chair, just remember, there's an unusual condition on this one with the address. If you'll notice, they're both 368. So one is going to 364. Is that right, Elizabeth?
It's already 364 now.
Is a
The
miracle.
mailing address.
Okay.
Yep, 364, and then also.
Yeah. So the mobile home's supposed to be 360. That we just put that in as a condition because it's different on the map. That's all.
Okay,
That's just unusual for you folks, but that would be something he'd have to agree to, which he just did. But yeah.
okay, so you don't have a problem with readdressing the
So
existing?
that's her address now. So basically, I guess it would just be official as far as the county goes. I mean, that's her mailing address now.
Okay.
And she's been living there for, like I said, over 21 years, so.
It would be official.
It would be official, yeah. All right, any other questions of the board? If not, we'll make sure there's nobody in the audience for, anybody else speaking in favor? Anyone in the audience in opposition? All right, seeing that there's no additional speakers, any discussion of the board? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion on this one.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any nays? All right, thank you very much. Motion passes, but do remember to come to the county commissioners meeting on April 1st. Okay, they'll make the final vote for this. All right, I need to ask for a bit of help. My agenda that I'm looking at is from February, so this is on the iPad.
Harry, you just have.
Well, I just need a packet. I need to be able to
Oh, okay.
scroll through the packet.
Those iPads.
Yeah, gotta love it. If you will bear, so I can see the packet there in front of me there.
Is that the
Bear with
chairman
us for a
iPad?
second.
Because I think it used to happen to other people too.
Dave, did that happen to you?
This is hurting my 7:00 bet.
Awesome, thank you. Now that makes a bit more sense to me. Okay, public hearing number 2, Justin Webb requests to rezone plus or minus 5 acres from AR1 to AR2 to allow for permitted uses in AR2. This is located 200 Clio Shawnee Road. This is again the 3rd District, map 313, parcel 3.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Justin Webb requests to rezone plus or minus 5 acres from AR1 to AR2 to allow for permitted uses in AR2, located at 200 Clio Shawnee Road, map number 313, parcel 3. The applicant is requesting to rezone plus or minus 5 acres to AR2. Per the Effingham County Code of Ordinances, conforming AR1 zoning shall have 5 acres or more. Since the applicant would like to subdivide the parcel into smaller lots, the zoning will need to change to AR2. There are currently other AR2 parcels adjacent to the parcel and across Springfield Road. The applicant proposes subdividing the parcel into 5 one-acre parcels. Suggested access for the proposed parcels is the following. The 2 parcels with frontage along Springfield Road will access Springfield Road. The other parcels will alternate between Clio Shawnee Road and Old Dixie Highway South. The proposal aligns with Chapter 2 of the Comprehensive Plan. The future land use map projects this parcel as agricultural. Staff has reviewed the application, and the application is complete with the following conditions. Development Services shall review and sign the plat, then the plat shall be recorded so the zoning can take effect. The 2 parcels with frontage along Springfield Road will access Springfield Road. The other parcels will alternate between Clio Shawnee Road and Old Dixie Highway South.
Okay, thank you. I guess a question I have, the 2 additional conditions, 2 and 3, related to the access and alternating access, was that something they offered up or that we asked them to do? We did, okay.
Based on access management plan and encroachment.
Okay, I just want to understand. Okay. Okay, is the applicant here? Does not look like we have the applicant here. Is anyone in opposition here tonight?
Good evening.
Yes, sir. If you would please state your name.
Yes, sir. Walt Lawson. I'm one of the landowners that butts up to this property. And as a landowner, do y'all mind if I bring you these?
I think we need to give staff a copy first.
There's 3 copies.
Can you point out which one is you, up there?
Yeah.
Just so everybody can see.
I am the bottom half, Old Dixie Highway South on the dirt portion. I am 31326, 31327, and also the little corner there on out of 26 is my mother-in-law's property.
That triangle?
The little 31326, see the little
Yeah.
Will you
box
come
there?
on-
That's my mother-in-law.
Can you come on this side and point and tell us?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Walt.
Thanks, Walt.
All right, see 31326?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That's me. The little square in the front corner is my mother-in-law, and 31327 is also me.
Okay.
All right.
And my concern, if you look at the pictures, with Old Dixie Highway South, that was taken as of about 1:30 today, just after a couple of days' rain. And there's only 4 occupants that live on that dirt road right now. Us, my mother-in-law, and 2 other homes. So that's after a decent rain. And you add 5 homes to that, and some of them's gonna be driving on that daily. And then on the roads, on Exhibit 1, that's coming off the dirt road. That's facing the 4-way. So you've already got a dirt road entering that area. You add another entrance there, that's gonna add traffic. And then on Exhibit 2 is on Clio Shawnee, they're gonna be exiting out of a blind curve. And if you look at it, to me, I'm for somebody being able to do with their property what they want. But in this one, it's just kind of special circumstances. It's a triangle of 5 acres that we're trying to develop. You're doing it on a dirt road that already, with minimal traffic, it becomes a mess. That's after a day and a half of rain. And you get a good rain a few days, and it's almost impassable. And I'm saying this as an occupant, somebody who owns land, I'm concerned. And I can also say, you know, that we talk about being smart about the development in our county. And I think we try our best. And this is coming from an elected official. My pay is based off of how many people are in this county. And I'm saying, just asking that we be smart with this one, because to me, it's not worth the pay just to allow anybody and everybody who has a few acres of uninhibited land just to be able to subdivide it. This is just one, I don't think it makes sense with its surroundings. Thank you.
I have a question for you. Is that okay to ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what would you suggest a good use of the land would be for the property owners?
At first, I thought, I was told that it was just gonna be rezoned for family use. I'm for that. I did the same thing. But, you know, it's like I could take my 8 acres and rezone it, you know, to 8 subdivided homes, and I just don't think it's smart. If it's subdivided into family use or something like that,
What type of family use?
so I was first told, and you know how rumors are, but it was gonna be subdivided and be 2 family homes. That I'd be all for, you know, but when we're subdividing it and now you're adding 5 homes, 5 families, more traffic on the dirt portion, more traffic in the intersection that, even as a former law enforcement officer, in my yard, I've ridden several accidents at that intersection, and now you're adding 2 entrances into an intersection that's already
So it's
busy.
not that you don't want to see it developed, it's just that you don't think it meets
I don't think it's the smartest way to develop it.
it's not the right way to
Yes,
develop
ma'am.
it.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we go back to the zoning map?
So, Mr. Chair, I just want to remind you that this is a rezoning. If you rezone it to AR2, no matter what is said here tonight, they can put anything they want on it. So just remember that, you know, even though somebody might say twice, it could be to meet the criteria. So I just want to remind you of that.
Right, as long as the lots meet the requirements and the
That's
use
right.
is allowed.
Yep.
So light green, sorry, the things are small on that. Light green is AR2 existing, correct?
Yes, and they've got 3 homes on those, and they're spread out, and they're on one side, there's only 1 entrance coming on to Old Dixie Highway, and then there's 1 entrance coming on to Clio Shawnee.
And this lot, I know the applicant's not here, but there is no house there currently, correct?
There's an old house, 2 old homes that I'm assuming they're gonna tear down.
Right.
But we've lived there since 2019. One of the older homes, you could call it in use, he lived in a camper in the backyard. But it was a sole occupant.
Right.
So this condition, this
That's
dirt road
today.
condition is which road?
Old Dixie Highway South.
Old Dixie Highway South. And how many, this is a question for staff, how many lots are we saying can access Old Dixie Road South with what the conditions are?
Thought it was 3, but I could be wrong.
Let's see. So 2 have to go to Springfield, so then we're left with the other parcels alternate between Clio. It's not really specific, I guess it could be 2 or 1, correct? Yeah. So we're talking about 1 or 2 additional access points on that, the way that the conditions currently read.
Correct. And like I said, that's the day after, only 4 occupants after the rain yesterday, and
Okay.
that portion that's the portion, the second picture is, that's the only portion that people traveled at is us or my mother-in-law.
Yeah. Okay. And you are 1326 on the map there.
26 and 27, yes, sir.
13, 26, and 27. Okay. Okay. Any other comments?
No, sir.
Any other questions of? Thank you, sir.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
it.
y'all.
Thank you all.
Anyone else like to speak in opposition?
We still on the time limit?
I don't know that I looked at the clock, so we'll,
Yes,
3
it's
minutes,
over.
please.
There you go. Thank you.
I can keep it under 3.
Please,
Dave Burns, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, thank you for your time and your service. I spent some time on that board, so I know how it feels. I agree with what Walt said. I think if you look at this zoning map, I mean, I don't think you see a lot of 1 acre lots around this. I don't think it's in keeping with the area. And so that's my objection to this property. I mean, this particular property, I understand what he's doing. I understand why he's doing it. I understand that the rules allow for him to do a 1 acre lot a half acre for his septic and a half acre for his well. And that's a bigger issue that I wanted to speak on because, I mean, that's set by the state. There's been a lot of conversation in the past from county staff, boards, commissioners about what North Effingham's going to look like. I heard it spoke on in one of the town halls that was at the high school that said that North Effingham was going to be possibly no smaller than 5 acres. And then there was conversation that it was going to be no smaller than 3 acre lots. I remember when I was on the board, the comp plan didn't allow for a gentleman to rezone his property north of Guyton on Old Louisville to something similar to this because at the time it was nothing smaller than 5 acres. So I guess my question is bigger is, with all those conversations, why are we still at the state minimum for how we're going to develop North Effingham? I understand it's a tough discussion because you've got to draw a line somewhere that says, here's where it's going to start, and here's where it's going to start, but start and stop. But my personal opinion is when you get up to Clive-Shoney, it's a no-brainer that 1 acre lots are not fitting for, in the minimum, state minimum for what North Effingham is going to look like. And of course, I'm not just talking about North Effingham there, I'm talking about north of Guyton, I'm talking about out towards Clio, I'm talking about our rural areas which are predominantly agricultural, and I think whatever the decision's going to be, it needs to move past a discussion and a thought into getting it written down, and this is how it's gonna be. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, anyone else that would like to speak in opposition to this application? All right, with that, I'll close the public hearing for this item, and we will have discussion among the board. Any thoughts, questions? Yeah, I'll give you our first aligned with this when before we heard the folks from the audience speak is looking at the map. There was a significant amount of AR2 around it, right? So that's where I was initially looking at, just directly adjacent to it. There's at least 2 parcels, but do understand the concern of the north end of the county, protecting the north end of the county. From staff standpoint, I think we've heard how it aligns with the future land use map, but curious what else the rest of the group.
Yeah, I think that the shape of the property is a big thing, trying to split that shape down into 5 different parcels. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I could see maybe splitting it 2, and it would align a lot more with the surrounding area. I don't really like the setup, but I mean, it's not for me to say. So,
Well, but we are debating the zoning
Right.
that will allow for the subdivision to happen, because right now they're at 5 acres exactly, I believe, correct?
Yes.
So there is no future subdivision on this piece of property possible with the acres that
we
it
can't.
has.
You can't go AR2 and dull it down to 2 acre or 2.5 acres. It has to be
So
1 per lot.
you bring up a valid point that AR2, the lowest you can split it to is 1 acre, but you can split it to other stuff long before you get there.
Right. But nothing stops it from splitting down to 1 acre.
Well, I mean,
Once it's AR2.
You're saying they could do it again? That's correct, yeah.
I mean, but we do, as a board, have the
You can.
ability to make a condition
about to say,
that
can we
we
put a
think that it
condition
should.
I
on
would
it?
say that if the applicant was here, but being they're not here, I
But
wouldn't.
Yeah,
we-
I'm disappointed that they're not here.
I'll say I feel like the fact they're not here says they're unconcerned. So that makes me more willing to put a condition on it and say, my opinion, to say if you're willing to do a conditional on larger lot sizes, like only do 2 or 3 lots versus 5.
I think that's perfectly fair, or we could table it, and if they're not here and wanted to give them a chance to talk about it.
I really like that suggestion, no offense. I like yours too, but I like that
That's fine.
because I can tell you if they don't show up at the next level, it will not be successful.
And we will remember the opposition, even if you're not able to, I know that's frustrating to come, and if something is tabled, I'm not saying it's going to be, but we hear you, understand the concerns related to it and how it aligns, so.
30 days.
And I think that's kind of a good happy medium with the answers you gave.
Any additional discussion?
There are no 1 acre lots anywhere in that area, are there? I didn't see any looking at the maps.
I didn't either.
One, but it's kind of far off, isn't it?
One, and they just moved off of that,
Let,
there's nothing on it.
let staff either respond, since the public hearing part's over, I'm sorry. Are there any additional 1 acre lots that we know of that are?
Not that we found, no.
But if soils worked, everything that's in light green on there could be 1 acre lots.
They could.
Right, just keep that in mind. I mean, that's the part of what we've got to kind of balance there is, there is the potential for 1 acre lots on at least, I'd say 10 parcels on that map we're looking at right now. Right?
Well, most of them have homes on them already, but
But again.
yeah, they do have the ability, yes.
Right. Okay, with that, I'll entertain a motion one way or the other.
I guess it's my district. I make a motion to deny.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to deny. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. So we have 4 ayes. I am a nay vote, so it's 4-1, recommendation for denial. All right, let's get to item public hearing number 3. Sorry, you're free to go there with that one if you're still here for that. Public hearing number 3, John E. Tucker as agent for Laverne Moore requests to rezone plus or minus 10 acres from AR1 to AR2 to allow for permitted uses in AR2. This is located at 174 Holly Drive. This is the first district, map number 302, parcel 53.
Yes, sir. The applicant is requesting to rezone plus or minus 10 acres to AR2. Per the Effingham County Code of Ordinances, conforming AR1 zoning shall have 5 acres or more. Since the applicant would like to subdivide the parcel into smaller lots, the zoning will need to change to AR2. There are currently other AR2 parcels across Holly Drive. The applicant would like to subdivide the parcel into 4 parcels that are less than 5 acres. Holly Drive is a county-maintained road. The proposal aligns with Chapter 2 of the Comprehensive Plan. The future land use map projects this parcel as agricultural residential. Staff has reviewed the application, and the application is complete with the following conditions. Development Services shall review and sign the plat. Then the plat shall be recorded so the zoning can take effect. New home address must be 172 Holly Drive.
Okay, thank you very much. Is the applicant in the audience? Thank you. If you would please come forward and state your name for the record.
John Tucker with Brewer Land Surveying.
Yes, sir. Tell us a little bit about what you're proposing.
They're just wanting to split it into 4 even. I think they ended up being between 2 and 3 acre lots for family residents.
Okay, 2 to 3 acre lots.
Yeah, 4 lots is what they want to end up doing.
Okay, I know you just heard the conversation on the previous item. So you're the agent for the family?
Yes, we're the surveyors that are doing it for them.
Okay. We don't have a condition that they're limited to just 3 or 4, the 4 additional lots currently in the recommendation, correct?
But you can, sir.
Right. Do you know, I'm not saying the board's gonna lean that direction, but do you know if they would be okay with that condition being placed?
What is it?
That it would be limited to 4 lots?
I'm sure they would be fine with that. There's 4 kids, so that's what they're trying to do it for.
Okay. Again, I'm not saying, I just wanted to, for the board to have to look at it that way. But do keep in mind, if we don't put that condition and it goes AR1, and if it's, how many acres is this one? I'm sorry?
10.
10.
So it could be 10 lots, right, without that. So just keep that in mind. Okay.
And remember, they can always come back and remove the condition if grandkids come into play or
That's
something
right.
like that.
Yeah, they come back through the process again. Okay, anything else? Sorry, I just wanted to clarify that
sir.
while you're up here. Appreciate it. Anybody else have any questions for the applicant?
No.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else in favor of the application? All right, hearing none, I'll open it up to, and I didn't keep track of that, but I think we're under 15 minutes, but I'll do my best at 6:30 now. So anyone in opposition that would like to speak in opposition to this item? All right, seeing that there's no one in opposition as well, we will close the public hearing for this item and open it up to debate, discussion among the board, not debate. Any discussion, questions? This is District 1, which is technically my district. I typically wouldn't make a motion related to my district from a standpoint of,
You can pass it on.
yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, any concern over limitations of future subdivision?
No.
Okay. All right, we have a motion on the floor. Can I get a second?
I'll make a motion second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? All right, it passes unanimously for recommendation of approval. Remember, there is, sorry, I lost track. April 1st, the Board of Commissioners meeting will be the vote that matters, right? So make sure you come back for that.
And that's in this room?
It's in the same room. You know, what is that TV show, Same Bat Time, Same Bat Channel? Yeah, so, yeah, we'll be back here at 6 o'clock. All right, moving on to public hearing item number 4. Aaron Jarman, as agent for Sagar Patel, requests to rezone plus or minus 2 out of 56.73 acres from AR1 to AR2 to allow for permitted uses in AR2. This is located on 206 White Branch Road. This is the 4th district, map 393, parcel 7.
Yes, sir. The applicant is requesting to rezone plus or minus 2 acres out of 56.73 acres to AR2. Per the Effingham County Code of Ordinances, conforming AR1 zoning shall have 5 acres or more. Since the applicant would like to subdivide the parcel into a smaller lot, the zoning will need to change to AR2. There are currently other AR2 parcels to the south of this parcel along the low ground road. The applicant would like to subdivide the land for an additional home so that the family can live closer together. White Branch Road is a private road, and according to Effingham County Code of Ordinances, private access roads may be unpaved but shall be designed based on county standards and sound engineering practices. This proposal aligns with Chapter 2 of the Comprehensive Plan. The future land use map projects this parcel as agricultural residential. Staff has reviewed the application, and the application is complete with the following conditions. Development Services shall review and sign the plat, then the plat shall be recorded so zoning can take effect.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Is the applicant in the room? If so, please come forward and state your name. No, I'm sorry, if I'm supposed to get them to sign their name. I've not been doing that process. I think there's a piece of paper up there too, if you would please sign your name in. I'm new to this. This is the second meeting, so I'll get better as we go.
It's your 100th meeting.
Well, second meeting as chair. Sorry. Good clarification. Good call. Not quite 100.
Recall whoever recalled.
Good evening.
All right, sir. Can you tell us a bit about what you're proposing?
I'm Aaron Jarman, and I'm just proposing to rezone to AR2 to allow a single-family home on it to be closer to family and friends, basically.
Okay, so this is, how many acres are we talking about out of, is 2 out of 56?
2 acres out of 56.
So you would have to rezone all 56 to AR2? Is that the?
No, we're just rezoning a piece of the,
Just
just that
piece.
2 acres.
See that on the plat when we actually go.
That's correct.
Is, I mean, this is a bit unique, right, for this one, because typically we're seeing the rezoning happen because the subdivision is out of a parcel that once you subdivide it, it's them non-conforming related to the there's easily able to make a 5-acre subdivision and still keep the zoning, I guess is what I'm asking about on that. So did y'all explore that at all, or the limitation from
Financially, it just makes more sense, to buy 2 acres instead of 5, and future investment of the 56 acres for the person who owns it, for them to have more, just it's like an investment, I guess. So
How does access work to this piece?
it's a private road, dirt road off a low ground road.
White Branch?
Right branch.
It's listed as a private drive, basically.
And this proposed subdivision's in the, I think my map's flipped. It's in the
That subdivision,
south,
talking about
oh,
Braintree
in the
Drive?
west, the extreme western edge of the parcels where the subdivision's gonna happen. Is that correct?
It's gonna
That
be
corner?
in front of that White House there, basically.
Right.
That, in that triangle out there?
Right behind the field.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's a field and the house. I would be right in between that.
Okay.
And that's the lot that's been cleared?
No, it hasn't been
It
cleared.
has not been cleared?
And I've discussed with the neighbors already and gotten their blessing on it. If that helps out.
Oh, yeah. Good. Conversations with the neighbors are always good, for sure. We appreciate you having them. Any other questions? Yeah, the point I would make is just know this doesn't set a precedent, right? That doesn't mean that consideration for another, whatever that would be, 52 potential AR1, that would be a pretty major subdivision in that case. So just,
Right.
I think the Board of Commissioners would look at it the same way. So this was unique. I was a bit surprised to see the size of the parent parcel that this subdivision was coming out of. So, any other questions?
And I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And you said this is to get family closer,
Correct.
that's the family live in that area on that
Yeah,
road?
I have a brother that lives there, and I have 6 or 8 of my best friends that live off of Low Ground Road. And
Okay.
also, my best friend owns the 56 acres. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe my statement needs to be to him then. This is not a precedent for future subdivisions.
I got you.
because
All
of
right.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, any other?
And also, my wife is married to or family to his wife, so.
Very good. Well, thank you, sir. Stay around in case there's anything else pops
Gotcha.
up. Anyone else here to speak in favor? Yes, sir. Please come forward. State your name. Sign your name. I got it right this time.
Good evening. I'm Sagar Patel. I'm the property owner. So Aaron is family by marriage, and so it is not in my intent to subdivide anymore. It was just more of, we're trying to build a village, family and friends, and he's got a little girl and a little boy on the way. I've got a little girl. They could all grow up really close together, and so that's the goal. The goal is not to subdivide all 56 out. So that's why we kind of got them in a little corner away from the big lot per se, and so he can kind of have his own little area, and that was really all. I wanted to assure that that's my goal is not to subdivide. That's hopefully our forever homes. So.
Have y'all gone through the soils work to understand that you're gonna have a adequate septic field and drain field in that area?
So Aaron actually had a soil sample done, or a soil scientist come out last week.
Okay.
And so they recommended a 24-inch mound, said the soil was okay.
But the acreage that you've got, it's got an adequate area. That's all I was
yes,
getting
sir.
to. That we
So
wouldn't need to-
his goal is, before we brought this to you guys, we talked with the neighbors, make sure that they were okay with everything, and then, so his goal is to not clear the first acre. It's kind of a rectangular lot, and just build a drive through that, and then kind of open up in the back acre per se. So that's the goal.
Again, this piece of property is 2.6 that's being created. So if we go to AR1, that would technically allow it to be 2 lots in the future. Are you okay if this board were to consider a condition that it cannot be further subdivided?
Yeah, I would prefer that, to be honest with you. That's completely fine. So, and the goal too is in our contract, if this all goes through and we execute a contract, I would get the first right of refusal. So if it ever goes back up for sale, I want first grabs at it.
Okay.
So.
All right, but that's between y'all. but
Yeah, I just
appreciate
wanted,
that. Yeah.
just to reassure, my intent here is not to build a bunch of houses out there.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any other questions?
No, sir.
And how big's the lot? It's 2+, but what'd you say? You got 2.6, you said?
We're gonna try to survey it down to 2 even.
Yeah, right here it says 2.018.
Oh, 2. I'm sorry, that's me misremembering. So 2. So you would technically be able to still do 2.
Okay.
if the soils and everything, I mean, there's a lot of things that may not possible, but if they're willing to consider that, I think that's something we consider on this one as that additional condition. Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Anyone else here to speak in favor of this applicant or application? Anyone in the audience to speak against? And seeing that everybody in the audience has spoke, I don't believe there will be any, but so. All right, with that, we will close this public hearing and open it up for discussion between the board. Any questions, concerns, just things to discuss about this one? I mean, again, it is a bit unique in what I've seen from a standpoint of such a big parent parcel that's being left as the remainder. So I think if he's willing to put that condition, and actually wants us to put that condition, I would prefer whoever makes the motion maybe to consider putting that condition about no future for subdivision not being allowed.
So, I'm confused. If the request is to rezone 2 out of the 56, we're not rezoning the 56.
Correct. I'm talking about just the 2 acre piece.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
Right, yeah, just because, yeah, I just didn't, like,
But I heard big. And
right, yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, on the 2,
2 acres, it ain't that big.
right, yes.
Okay.
But it technically could be subdivided, if it's 2 acres or greater, it could be subdivided again, so. All right,
Yeah.
no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay. I make a motion, we accept the request with the condition that the lot size maintains at least 2 acres.
Okay. We have a motion with a condition, everybody understand the condition? Can I get a second on that?
I move to second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any nays? No nays. So again, this is a recommendation. It does pass with a recommendation of approval to the Board of Commissioners on April 1st, 6 p.m. in this same room. Thank you. Appreciate it. Public hearing number 5 has been postponed. We previously covered that as part of the agenda discussion, so there is no additional items on our agenda, and I don't think there's anything additional that the board wants to discuss or has brought up, so.
Just want to remind you that AR3 2.5 would come in handy in some of these.
It will.
Just a heads
Looking
up.
forward to seeing that, for sure. All right, anything else? Otherwise, I will call this meeting adjourned at 6:42. Good deal.
Very good.